Can we go through? Why not?
Because.
What? Because of what?
Reizen over de door Israël bezette gebieden levert onverwachte verrassingen op. Bij de stad Qalqilya stuiten we op wegblokkades. De stad is al enkele dagen van de buitenwereld afgesloten en er wordt dan ook zeker geen buitenlandse pers toegelaten. De reis gaat naar Kafr Lakif, een boerendorp tussen Qalqilya en Nablus. Door alle oponthoud bereiken we het dorp pas tegen het vallen van de avond. In het dorp is het donker. Kafr Lakif is niet aangesloten op het elektriciteitsnet en het aggregaat van het dorp is weer een stuk.
We have tried to get the electricity from the main company. And they refuse to give us. So we depend on this motor generator, and just we have the power for about 6 hours daily, and in the daytime we don't have the power. So in the night time only, and after 12 o'clock it will be off. We don't have a government. We don't have our independent institutions, so we face all these troubles and problems. This is a very small problem. Since 20 years we are living in the same conditions. Only little change. All the world is going forward ahead in a large steps. But here we are going ahead in very small steps.
أديب عارف حسن عساف من كفر لاقف. عمري 50 سنة. بعيش في هذا الأرض. ولدت فيها. والدي ولد هنا وجدي ولد هنا وأبو جدي ولد هنا.
De familie Assaf is een van de 40 families van Kafr Lakif. Net als de overige 400 inwoners zijn ze afhankelijk van de opbrengst van het land voor hun levensonderhoud. Sinds 1967 echter worden ook in deze streek Israëlische slaapsteden gebouwd. Exclusieve nederzettingen voor Joodse kolonisten en immigranten. De grond voor deze nederzettingen wordt geconfiskeerd van Palestijnse boeren. De kolonisten van Gino Shomron willen het land van de familie Assaf afpakken voor hun uitbreidingsplannen. Maar Assaf wil het land niet verkopen. Zeer tot onvrede van de kolonisten die hen op allerlei manieren intimideren.
بيمنعوني أعمل في الأرض. بيمنعوني أحيانا أدخل إلى الأرض سواء أنا أو أهلي. بيقلعوا الزيتون، بيحرقوا الزيتون، بكسروا الزيتون، بطردوا العمال من الأرض.
De kolonisten beweren dat het betreffende stuk land staatsgrond is en een veiligheidsrisico vormt voor hun dorp. Assaf wist echter via een slepende rechtsgang van 2,5 jaar te bewijzen dat het land dat hij in 1957 kocht wel van hem is en geen militaire zone.
هاي حدود الأرض. هذا ختم دائرة الملك.
وين مستوطنين؟
Here.
In this place, the settlement.
هاي أرضي من المستوطنة من الجنوب حتى السنسال هذاك، وحد من هون الطريق حتى السنسال هذاك التحتاني 118 دنم.
Volgens Israëlische militaire wetgeving loopt Assaf het risico zijn land toch te verliezen als het 3 jaar achtereen niet bebouwd is. Vandaar de vastberadenheid van de kolonisten om de Assaf te verhinderen zijn land te bewerken.
هذا شجر الزيتون تبع اللي كان مزروع وحرقوه.
Gino Shomron is, anders dan Kafr Lakif, van alle moderne gemakken voorzien. Er is waterleiding, telefoon en elektriciteit in het dorp aanwezig.
How long are you living here?
A year and a half.
Is this how long the homes are here, or it's just your
3 years.
3 years?
3 years.
How's the life in this place?
Over here, up until a week ago, up until 2 months ago, was beautiful. Very nice.
What happened 2 months ago?
Whatever's been going on in the news today, you know exactly what's been going on. You know just as much as, maybe you even know as more than we do.
But why is it bothering you? I mean...
What does it bother me? While I'm inside locked up and I can't go outside, things don't bother me. But if I have to go outside and travel and have to get hit by stones and have to wonder what's going to happen to me if I go down or if I take my children down or if I do this, these are the things that do concern me. Did anybody disturb you here from working on your land? The people live in here?
You're so called.
Whatever.
It's not possible.
I asked you a question. Answer me yes or no. Yes or no. There are thousands of workers that work over here. Did anybody ever disturb anybody on land?
Destroy in night, at night.
Yeah.
And how
do you know
at night? It's not possible.
Excuse me. Answer to these people over here.
انت شفت من خط الشجر ولا الشجر تبعك؟
أنا ما شفتش.
قول له ما شفتش.
أنا ما شفتش بس مش ممكن واحد في الليل يجي هون وبولع نار وإنت ما بتشوفش.
ليش مش ممكن؟
أنا مش ممكن إني آجي على الأرض في الليل.
ليش مش ممكن؟ لأنه أنتم بتمنعوني. ممكن لك ممنوع.
بعد المغرب مسموح أنا آجي هون؟
مالو؟
في النهار بتقول لي ممنوع.
ليش هذا مش أرضك؟
هذا مش أرضي؟ طوال كل الفترات ما تركتش لا حاكم عسكري ولا شرطة ولا مخابرات ولا المستشار اللي بسموه المستشار للشؤون العربية. كل هذه الجهات، المستشار القضائي في بيت إيل، وزارة العدلية واللي هذه اللي اسمها بلي ألبك في القدس مع محامين، ورحت لهم مرارا وتكرارا. شغلتي من 86 حتى الآن بين رام الله والقدس وبيت إيل وشرطة طول كرم وشرطة قلقيلي طوال فترتي يوميا، ولكن الحكومة مع المستوطنين والشرطة مع المستوطنين، وشو بإمكاني أنا أعمل؟
What is the specific reason for you to be willing to live here and not within the 48 boundaries of, within the Green Line?
That's what you say. That's your opinion.
No,
Our opinion is that Israel is Israel. We're the Arabs. Everybody. Israel is the country of Israel. I may live wherever I desire. They may live wherever they desire, but in peace. That's all we want.
You think that peace can be achieved?
To God. I sure hope so, because there's no reason why it shouldn't.
And there is a lot of talk about maybe for a peace settlement that there would be, land given back to Jordan, or in any case, what do you think of this?
I hope to God not. I didn't come to have my land given back. Built a home, want to live in peace, and that's the end of it.
We are talking to this man about his land.
Oh, how do you know that's his land?
Because we saw the map with the stamp from Ramallah, from Beit Il, that this is his land.
So you know up until what point that comes? If it's the case, okay? So now he as the head of security of this issue, okay, is telling you that this is a security road, you're not allowed here. So let's see you leave.
So you want us to leave?
That's correct.
We can't be on the road, or we can't be on the land, or what?
This is a security road here.
Okay.
Okay? This is a security road. So a lot of women and children over here. A lot of women and children understand the people of Holland. You guys were pretty good in the 40s to the Jews. Okay? Just remember what goes on here. There's women and children over here. Okay? And we're not the ones that are throwing stones. We're not the ones that are shooting bullets. We're not doing all this shit.
Good morning. I asked you to face the place.
ليش تعتقد إنه المستوطنين بخلقوا لك مشاكل؟
لأنه بدهم الأرض.
شو بيعني لك يعني؟
بيعني لي حياتي. أخذوا الأرض ما ضلليش حياة.
شو النتائج أو النتائج الاقتصادية اللي ممكن تترتب على أخذ من الأرض؟
شو نتائج اقتصادية؟ ما هي اقتصادي مرتبط بالأرض. يعني من الزيتون أنا بوكل، من الأرض هي بوكل، بزرعها وبوكل. أخذوا الأرض انتهت حياتي.
De boeren die zich verzetten tegen de confiscatie van hun land staan jarenlange procedures te wachten die ze in de regel verliezen. Israël gaat prat op de mogelijkheid van beroep tegen de beslissingen van het militair bestuur, maar Palestijnse advocaten denken daar anders over. De organisatie Al-Haq heeft veel ervaring met dergelijke rechtszaken en hun advocaten hebben maar zelden een zaak kunnen winnen.
It is very unfortunate that although Israel has claimed repeatedly that this is an unusual occupation to the extent that the Israeli High Court of Justice is open to the occupied people to resort to it, it is very unfortunate that while having the form of legality, while being on the face of it open, in fact the legal system, both in the High Court, in all the various other aspects that are available, has done no more than simply stamp with legality whatever was done by the military commander. So the High Court, for example, has refused to define what security is. Whenever we appeal to the High Court on a question to do with the most simple things, closure of institutions, deportations, any other administrative measure, the High Court simply bases its decision on security. Now, How did it base its decision on security? It is based on secret evidence which the lawyer defending the case cannot see. So in the end of the day, whether it is in the case of land, whether in the case of attempting to stop any of the deliberate policies of the occupied authorities, the High Court has been ineffective.
De voortschrijdende kolonisatie van de westelijke Jordaanoever bracht inmiddels 52% van de grond in handen van de militaire overheid. Op die grond werden al meer dan 100 nederzettingen gesticht, vaak in aaneengesloten gebieden. Zo wordt het Palestijnse karakter van het gebied langzaam ondergraven. Toch aarzelt Israël om de gebieden officieel in te lijven.
The demographic balance between Palestinian and Jew in the entire land, including Israel of pre-67 and the West Bank and Gaza, the demographic balance would make the Palestinians, if the whole thing became under one government, a large minority. By the year 2015, there would be parity between Palestinian and Jew in the entire land, and this would make Israel a declared racist state if it's going to disenfranchise the non-Jews. And I don't think that they are ready for it. So in order to keep Israel a Jewish state, it is important not to annex until the demographic balance changes. Now what they are counting on, it seems, is that the Palestinians will leave and more Jews would come in. That is why, and that is the only reason why one can imagine they need all this land, they need to do all these policies of creating settlements and all that the creation of settlement entails.
What do you think about people who live in West Bank or Judea Samaria, as you say?
I think actually I'm planning to move to the West Bank.
To which town?
To Tekoa. It's a settlement in the Gush Etzion area near Bethlehem. And I think that as Jews we are entitled to settle that area because it's part of our heritage, and I don't see any reason not to do it.
As it is now, the area is annexed as far as the Jews who live in the occupied areas. They are living outside Israel and being part of Israel. The laws of Israel apply to them to a very large measure. They are residents of Israel while being residents of the occupied territories. So a situation of annexation without annexation has been achieved, which is a very convenient one for Israel because it has the annexation of the land without the annexation of the Palestinians living on the land.
I think that they can live there as our guests, and I think they should be. We should live in peace. But as far as having them part of our country, Israel, as far as being in the Knesset or being together, I don't want to see that happen.
Door de diverse Israëlisch-Arabische oorlogen wonen honderdduizenden Palestijnen in deze krottenwijken. In de bezette gebieden zijn het vooral de kampen in de Gazastrook die berucht zijn om hun overbevolking en het gebrek aan basisvoorzieningen als medische zorg of riolering. Ondanks dat, of misschien juist daardoor, zijn de kampen, ook die op de westelijke Jordaanoever, broeinesten van verzet tegen de bezetting. Tegelijkertijd is de economische ontwikkeling door de hoge belastingen en tarieven gestagneerd. Palestijnse bedrijven kunnen de concurrentie van de bevoordeelde Israëlische bedrijven niet aan. Zo kan het dat een arbeidsleger van vluchtelingen, boeren en afgestudeerden zich op de zwarte markt aanbiedt als dagloner, zonder enige rechtszekerheid.
I'm Nadia Habash and I'm a Palestinian. I come originally from Al-Lid which is occupied in 1948, and we had to emigrate, and now we are living in Ramallah. We also emigrated in 1967 and in 1970 in Jordan. So we emigrated 3 times in 1 generation. I work with the Union of Palestinian Women Committees, and I think it's good to mention that we have unions and organizations that take care of the Palestinian people that has been formed from the Palestinian people. It's true that we don't have anything that is governmental or that is public. All what we get is oppression and brutal actions against us. So we learned as Palestinians to take care of ourselves, and that is the role of trade unions, of grassroots organizations, of national institutions, and this is what all their programs and plans have been directed towards. Since occupation, the advantages they got was cheap labor. They are getting Arab workers working in their settlements and in their factories and doing the jobs that Israelis would not accept to do. They want a market for their products. And the West Bank and Gaza Strip have been the second consumers for Israeli products after the United States. We are the second, we rank the second in importing Israeli products. And that is very important. That's why now, if we call for boycotting Israeli products, it's going to be a very big problem for them. If we call for boycotting working in Israel, it's going to be a very big problem for them, and they know it. They try to show that it's not a big problem, but it is.
العمال واصحاب الشاحنات فيش لهم عمل من 3 اشهر ما بيشتغلوش. لهم فيش شغل. فيش عمل. ولا بدهم يشتغلوا مع اسرائيل ولا مع الشعب الاسرائيلي. بدهم يشتغلوا
لا شغل ولا بدنا نشتغل ولا
في الشغل تبع العربي.
ما بنشتغل معهم.
العرب بس مع العرب.
صار 4 اشهر ما نشتغلش. 4 شهور
We are strike because this is our land, and the Jews, they came here, they took all of my land, you know, they took all the land from us, and this is our land. We have to fight. We need our land. That's why we our freedom. That's why our government, the Palestinian government, and no other more. Even not with Israel, never with Jordan, not with any other people, and only Palestinian government here.
De winkelstakingen zijn goed georganiseerd en massaal. Het ondergrondse leiderschap van de opstand instrueert de bevolking via pamfletten. De winkelverkoop en de verkoop van eerste levensbehoeften zijn op afgesproken uren toegestaan. Op die manier kan men de staking lang volhouden. Er wordt geen honger geleden en winkeliers en boeren gaan niet failliet.
ظبط حالك ظبط حالك مشى شعرك مشى شعرك ايوه مشي الخبز كيف تحفظ بتبيع
Everything is organized. The extension of the PLO inside the occupied territories are organizing these things, but actually this time it's because all the people want this, all the people want, because they suffer from the occupation, so what the people want and what people are organizing, what the leadership inside is organizing, there is a big integration between them, and that's why everything is successful. I guess they are trying to say that there are few people behind it, and that's why they are trying to arrest people. They thought if they arrest few people, everything is going to stop, and it did not stop. Even they arrested over 2,500 people. They thought that if they can expel some people, it's going to stop, and it did not stop.
The new and the most significant thing in the last uprising is that once again, and in a very scientific way, that the Palestinian people is putting an emphasis on one fact, that if we want to get rid of the Israeli occupation and of the intolerable humiliation, we, the people who are living inside the occupied territories, should take the mission in our hands. All that period before the last uprising, and unfortunately I can say that was a big mistake, we were expecting the salvation to come mainly from abroad, and I can say surely that during the 20 years of the occupation, we were not able to achieve such results. But the last uprising was capable to let us have such results.
What is important actually is that the youth are participating very much in this uprising, and that is very important, and this is what's upsetting the Israelis, because they know if these people do this while they are this young, what are they going to do when they are older?
Tot grote frustratie van de soldaten zijn traangasgranaten en betonnen afzettingen, zoals hier in Al-Amari-kamp, niet in staat de jongeren van de straat te houden. Die frustraties worden uitgeleefd in nachtelijke razzia's, waarbij de soldaten het vooral gemunt hebben op de handen die hen de hele dag bekogelen. Mohammed is een van de velen uit Al-Amari-kamp wier hand door de soldaten is gebroken.
بدنا نعرف السبب، بدنا أرض، بدنا ناخذ استقلالنا، بدنا حكومة إلنا، بدنا هوية فلسطين. إحنا بدناش نضلهم يقتلوا فينا ليل نهار وياخذوا في شبابنا، في الليل يسجنوهم وفي النهار ويقتلونا في الليل وفي النهار. بدنا أرضنا، بدنا هويتنا، بدنا وطننا.
يعني أنت بتوافقي مع الانتفاضة؟
أنا أول الانتفاضة.
She's one of the first.
لازم الصغير والكبير إحنا بدنا نتحرر، ما نضلش إحنا تحت الحكم، يا نموت يا نطيب. الصهاينة تيجي هنا وترحلنا احنا يا اصحاب الارض الفلسطينيه. هذول نزيه هذول نازية اللي بقتلوا فينا نازية، هم اللي اجوا من برا، نازية زي جنوب افريقيا.
I think in this situation, I think any means that they understand. Apparently, the only thing they understand is a hard hand, an iron hand.
And you would go for that also?
I think the choice is, there's not really a choice. It's either doing it, I think it's better to have someone being beaten than to kill them.
التاسعة إلى 10:30 هجمنا المستوطنين، وقامت قوات الجيش الإسرائيلي خشت البلدة وضربتني وأجت على البيت تبعي وضربوني في رأسي وكسروا رجلي وحطموا زجاج البلدة وسحبوني 1.5 كيلو عن الدار، لولا شخص ثاني من الأهالي مشى معهم لحطموني تحطيما ورموني على الشارع.
If somebody is beaten up, or if we see somebody being beaten up, this has happened so often for us individually, the question becomes, who do you appeal to? Who do you go and submit a complaint, assuming that there is a possibility to submit a complaint against the army, which is not a correct assumption to begin with, assuming there is such a possibility? Who do you appeal to when the organization which is responsible for the affairs of the army has ordered the army explicitly to go and beat people up? And this is only, I think, symptomatic of a situation which we have been living under, where the authority itself is pursuing illegal purposes and objectives, whether it is in the alienation of land or the treatment of individuals. When we are under an authority which is illegal, then the question becomes very difficult. Who do you appeal to?
Na een zelfopgelegde gevechtspauze van 2 maanden zijn het sinds februari vooral de kolonisten van de bezette gebieden die met grof geweld de Palestijnen mores willen leren. Gewapend en al trekken ze erop uit om bezittingen van Palestijnen te vernielen. In het dorp Silwad hebben de kolonisten 3 schoolkinderen gekidnapt.
She said they kidnapped him, they didn't do anything, and she doesn't know why they took him.
They were in the house.
بقوا في الدار؟ No, they were coming from school to their houses. They found him in the way, and they took him while they was walking the street from their school to their house. حدا راح للجيش ولا البوليس؟
الجيش هل
The army came by themselves and they start shooting in the air or in their legs, I don't know.
طلعنا نخلص الشباب من اولاد صغار الساعه نخلصهم من ايديهم واحنا طالعين لقينا الجيش فايت على البلد المستوطنين صار طالعين بعدين لما جينا يعني نكمل الاولاد من هنا يجي صوابونا نخلص الاولاد من هنا يجي صوابونا.
مين فتح النار عليكم؟
الجنود يعني الجيش كان حمايه للمستوطنين.
We need protection from the settlers. We are in danger. We need protection again. You know, What they did today, they might do tomorrow. They might do it tonight. They might do it after tomorrow. You never know. We need protection.
Enkele dagen later, als we weer langs Silwat komen, blijken 2 jongens weer thuis te zijn. De gemoederen zijn weer wat gekalmeerd.
كم قعدت عندهم محتجز؟
يوم وليلة.
One day and one night. وين أخذوكم؟
مستوطنة بيت إيل.
كيف عرفت انها بيت إيل؟
يعني اطلعونا برا، كنت انا علي شفت البراكسات وها، يعني انا شفت هذه المنطقة من قبل وعرفت انها بيت إيل.
مكان تدريب كمان؟ مكان تدريب. ما سألكوش أسئلة معينة إنه إذا بدهم منه مشي؟
صار يقولوا مين بقولكوا حط حجار. احنا ما بنعرفش انه بحط حجار، احنا بكينا ماشيين وبكاش في شيء، يعني لا مظاهرة ولا شيء. إيه اجوا بيستفزوا فينا هيك.
تعال صور يا سيد، اسمع مني، بدها فلاش بس.
When our little baby here was just 2 weeks old, driving from home to town, we were thrown with stones. Now, as you can see, I'm forced to travel with a rifle to defend my wife, myself, and my baby, for no other reason than wanting to live in my country, in my homeland, after 2,000 years of wandering amongst the other nations.
De kolonisten trekken zich weinig aan van de kritiek op hun handelswijze. Tot 2 maal toe hielden ze zelfs een massale, op televisie aangekondigde terreurtocht tegen het Aroep vluchtelingenkamp. Kampjeugd wist de kolonisten met stenen te verjagen. Sinds die aanvallen loopt men in het kamp wacht en is men op het ergste voorbereid.
Why would they attack Aroop camp? Why especially Aroop?
I told you, it's not Aroop camp. It's not just Aroop camp. There is many camps, there is many cities, there is many towns. Where is the Palestinian people? They are go there. And we protect ourselves. Always we are wake up, we are all ready for any attack.
Het Palestijnse Mensenrechtenkantoor in Jeruzalem volgt onder andere de confrontaties tussen kolonisten en Palestijnen op de voet. Aan een woordvoerster van die organisatie de vraag of de kolonisten zich uit de gebieden terug zullen trekken als dat nodig zou zijn voor een vredesregeling.
Well, they're not going to want to move. I mean, that's very clear. They believe that this is, that it is their land. That's why they have stolen Palestinian land, why they, come with all of their arguments, why they are there. And I'm sure that, they have made it very clear that they will not leave the area without a full-scale war, even against the rest of the Jewish people, the rest of the Israeli Jewish people. And I think that the unreality of the settler position is epitomized by the movement of Sharon into the Muslim quarter of the old city, despite the fact that he may never even spend a night there, just to put to implant Jewish presence in the middle, on top of the Palestinians, to just to say in a very crude statement that this is ours, it's not yours, and we will never leave.
So the ultimate answer to the problem is, of course, to understand that there is a Palestinian state in Jordan, which was taken from the land of Israel, about 70% of the total area, already in 1922, then by the British. It will be a Palestinian state in Jordan and a Jewish state in Israel, and in between it will be a problem that should be solved. Israel is a tiny, small country, and still our main problem is, of course, security and existence. But I believe that altogether we can live together in peaceful coexistence, and that is our purpose and goal. Thank you.
Okay.
Het Huis van Sharon is het zoveelste in een reeks huizen die fanatieke Joodse fundamentalisten opkochten in de Palestijnse wijken in het hartje van Arabisch Oost-Jeruzalem. De Palestijnen vrezen op deze wijze langzaam verdreven te worden uit hun traditionele woonwijken en uiteindelijk uit hun vaderland.
What do you think of the moving from Sharon to the Arabic Quarter? I think it's very good.
Yeah, why?
So, well, he moved to a Jewish house, which was Jewish property for the last 100 years. And it's rightfully his to move into. As I say, there are Arabs who live here. They could stay here as long as they want. As long as they realize that it's a Jewish state, they have no rights here. If they want to work here, fine. If they want to live here, fine. They can raise their families. If they ever dare to raise a hand against Jewish people, their hand must be cut off.
It certainly, in the short run, is causing the Palestinians the most immediate agony in seeing their land taken and seeing their homes taken and seeing the whole terrain of their land transformed. In the end, the real tragedy is a tragedy for the Jewish people that is being enacted, especially by, I mean, it's the extreme is shown by the settlers. But it is a whole policy of the Israeli government that the majority of the Israeli public supports. And it's going nowhere. It's going nowhere in a positive way for the Jewish people.
The basic problem in this country is hypocrisy of our own government and our policy. Our policy.
Fascism in Israel, racism in Israel. The Jews who suffered so much from racism.
I didn't deserve it talking.
See, very elegant and very
aggressive.
No.
In Israël groeit de weerstand van een toenemend aantal soldaten tegen het optreden van het leger in de bezette gebieden.
I think it's time to say, like we have said in Lebanon, there is a limit. There is a certain red line that we refuse to pass. And the red line is to have whatsoever to do with the repression in the occupied territories as soldiers.
So the number is increasing?
Definitely, it's increasing, and it's surprising the kind of people who are joining us. These people are not necessarily very radical. They are not anti-Zionist. Some of them have a very long military past, but they have the feeling that it's too much.
Why don't you want to serve in the territories? מסיבה פשוטה שהשטחים האלה לא שייכים לנו. השטחים הם שטחים כבושים. האנשים שנמצאים בשטחים הם נמצאים תחת דיכוי ותחת שלטון כיבוש, ואני לא מוכן לתת יד לדיכוי של האנשים שחיים בשטחים שהם שלהם. We're now driving through French Hill. You consider that also conquered territory, or do you say this is part of Israel, or what is it to you? עבורי זה שטח כבוש.
In my opinion, it's a conquered territory.
למרות שכל התשתית שישנה פה וכל מה שקורה פה יכול להעיד שזה לא. עשו פה עבודה יפה כדי לייפות את הסיפור.
אני לא חושבת שהמצב עכשיו יכול להירגע, ואני חושבת שגם הממשלה טועה. צריך קודם להוציא את הצבא מהשטחים, וקודם לתת לאנשים שם הרגשה שמוכנים לשמוע או לשמוע אותם, להקשיב להם ולבוא איתם במשא ומתן. והמשא ומתן לשלום צריך להתחיל עכשיו, ברגע זה, ולא צריך בכלל לדחות אותו.
think it's a bit sour that Yuval and Alpha will refuse to serve in the occupied territories? The same territories your husband died for, in a way.
I think that if my husband were alive, he'd applaud for them. He didn't die for the occupied territories. He died because the government of Israel sent him to an unnecessary war, and he was stupid enough to go.
Don't you think that if all Israeli people refuse to serve in this way, that in the end the existence of Israel itself will be at stake?
I don't think there is a real physical danger to the existence of the state of Israel. I think there is a very grave danger to its moral picture, to its moral image. For 20 years now, we are controlling more than 1.5 million people without any democratic rights. We are oppressing them, we are using them, and we are creating a situation of an almost complete apartheid. I don't want to be part of a state that doesn't respect equal democratic rights for everybody who is within its border or in this situation within its control. So I think that the occupation is some kind of a moral cancer inside the Israeli society. I think that the uprising in the occupied territories is the first sign that the Palestinian people is not going to accept the occupation no longer. They are saying that's the end. And they're saying more than that. They are saying, you think that you occupy us. But as a matter of fact, the territories are some terra incognita for you. You are afraid to go there. You're going there only with your army. It's our land. And we are going to do there what we want. And I support them.
باعت تحياته للنبع وللدين لأهله ولأخواته.
In the future, I can't come and say to any Israeli that this place is not your homeland. On the contrary, I will tell him, look, this homeland is for you and for me. So, let's work together. Let's cooperate together in order to achieve that state in which both of us are going to live in equality, in brotherhood, in good neighborhood.
بدنا حقوق إلنا فلسطين لازم تكون فلسطين لو كل شعبنا بروح بموت إحنا بدنا دولة فلسطينية سواء مات هذا ومات أخوه ومات أخوه ومتت أنا وماتت بنتي هذه وبنتي هذه إحنا بدنا دولة فلسطينية